All right, welcome back to Salt City Counseling, everybody. Today's video, it is Sunday, so I have my next installment for healing narcissistic trauma. If you're new here, my name's Scott Carter. I'm a licensed therapist here in the beautiful state of Utah. Salt City Counseling is my company, is my counseling business, and this is my channel. So if you're new here, I hope that you will subscribe. Every Sunday, I publish videos on healing narcissistic trauma. If this is a series that I intend to keep going indefinitely and to try to always build. And so if you're not sure whether or not you have narcissistic trauma or been at the hands of narcissistic abuse, I did a video on some of those signs, some of those indicators, some of those results of narcissistic trauma. And so in this video, I'm going to talk about the importance of incorporating meditation and using meditation to advance and support this healing process. Meditation really is healing. I'm an avid meditator. I meditate every single day. Meditation has done so many amazing things for me in my life, mentally, spiritually, psychologically. Honestly, meditation is healing. That's probably one of the things that people don't realize about meditation is that it's extremely healing thing. And in all regards, physically, mentally, spiritually, very, very healing. And some people might say, how is it healing physically? Well, even if you just meditate and you decrease your stress and you decrease your stress hormones in your body and you have less stress, then you're going to automatically get health benefits from that. I mean, that alone, right, is worth it. So I hope that if people are watching these series and are engaging in this series, I hope that you will not skip this one. This is so important. Try to realize that for a lot of these processes, a lot of people are going to just sort of naturally avoid probably the things that they need the most, the things that are the most important, maybe the things that are going to be the most beneficial. So please do not skip this one. Please take this seriously, please. And yet don't. Meditation is not a serious thing. It's not a super serious thing. And so take it serious, but don't. I know that doesn't make a lot of sense. So I'm going to talk about the importance of meditation, how it helps in this healing process, and also give you some tips on how to do it effectively, okay? So let me get some housekeeping out of the way first. If you're new here, I hope that you will subscribe. I'm super close to my first 1 million, man. So please hit subscribe, hit like, share this. If you know people in your life that you feel like relate to this and they feel like they would benefit from this, then please share it with them. If you really like these series, if you really find it beneficial, you can help me keep it going. You can really help me keep the content steady and high quality. If you hit that tip jar, Cash App, Venmo, PayPal. All those links are in the description below. If you have a viewer question, scottc at saltcitycounseling.com. And or you can just leave a comment on one of the video sections, and I will do my best to always get to it. If you're gonna ask a question, please word it clearly. A lot of people I've noticed will ask a question and I don't really totally understand the nature of their question. Like, take just a few extra seconds, man, and just make sure that you type it out so that it's clear. If it's important to you, put some effort into it. So I'm trying to think if there's anything else for now. Not necessarily. But if you like these series on healing narcissistic trauma, make sure you subscribe and hit notification. You'll know when they are published. And I put them out on Sundays. Okay, healing narcissistic trauma, the importance of meditation. There's several points here. Okay, number one is that meditation is going to help you build that awareness. Okay, thing is about narcissistic trauma, I've noticed these folks, the frantic mind, I talked about this in the last video, right? The frantic mind creates this heavy tunnel vision, right? And there may be all kinds of things out here that are important that you need to see, that you need to understand, that are going to help you, and you can't see them. And meditation is going to naturally just expand that awareness so that you don't have this heavy tunnel vision. The more afraid you are, the greater your tunnel vision is. That's the nature of fear. That's its intended purpose. Evolution, nature has created fear that for that specific purpose, so that you can just there's one perceived direction out, and so that you just only go that way. But we're only supposed to remain here in small spurts of time. And I've noticed that people with narcissistic trauma, this is their constant This is where they live. This is their home. This is right. So meditation is going to help you build that awareness. Also, I've noticed that people with narcissistic trauma, they are afraid to like take an honest look at themselves because the narcissist has convinced them that they're horrible, that they're bad, you will hate yourself, and they're afraid to take an honest look at themselves because they're afraid of what they will find. So meditation is also intended to help you see like, hey, you're not so bad, and building that awareness. Be able to have a close, honest look, in the mirror without it being really painful. Okay. The next one is it's going to help you notice the frantic mind. Now, I talked about this in the last video with the frantic mind, or just like on a hamster wheel, just go, 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 go all the time. It just never takes a rest, right? That's one way that you can tell that you've had some narcissistic trauma or been the results of narcissistic abuse, is that it's just that constant frantic mind just doesn't stop. And I'm actually going to do I had a great viewer question. I'm going to do a video on that. I had a very good question in regards to this. So that will probably publish in a few days after this one publishes. So make sure that you subscribe and hit the notification bell so that you'll see it when it comes up. But just the meditation is going to help you notice the frantic mind. Okay, the idea here is that people see that this is me, this frantic mind is me, and the idea is that no, this is your fight or flight response. It comes from the limbic system. You have other parts of your brain that function. I'm going to do a whole other video on this, so I'll get into that in a different video. But when you meditate, you separate from that frantic mind. Okay, and when you start to create that separation, you start to realize like, hey, I've got some consciousness or some thought outside of the franticness, and the idea is to stop seeing the frantic mind as me, as myself. This is me. And start seeing it as an extension of you, okay? But again, I'm going to get into this in the next video. Meditation is going to help you create that separation, okay? The next point is that in that separation, it allows you to realize that it's okay to disengage from that frantic mind for short periods of time, and that it's fine, that it's okay. Because the frantic mind kind of gives that sense that if you are not engaging in this, go, 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 frantic mind, everything will fall apart. The frantic mind likes to, it causes people to believe that thanks to me, everything is not completely falling apart. And if we're not just doing this frantic thing, everything will be a disaster, everything will fall apart. So meditation is going to help you realize, hey, no, it's fine, actually. I've been able to separate here, and it's not a total disaster, okay? So that those are some of the. There's one more. Okay, there's one more intended benefit from meditation, and that is that meditation helps allow the brain to adopt new ideas, new beliefs, and so on. It allows the subconscious to be reprogrammed. The subconscious is if you have had narcissistic trauma either by a parent or a partner, you may be brainwashed in a sense. And meditation is honestly going to break up that brainwashing. To me, it's like the best way to cure, I don't like that word, but I'm using it anyways, or get rid of that programming or get rid of that brainwashing, is to meditate. Meditation will absolutely help enable that brainwashing or that deep set programming to just break up. And you can start implanting new ideas, new beliefs, new ways of being into your subconscious. Okay, so those are the real intended benefits for meditation. Now let's get into the hows and the whats and the whys. And thing is, again, there's a lot of meditation techniques. There's a lot of videos. There's a lot of content out there that will teach you how to meditate. I'm going to give some of my own tips and tricks for people that have a frantic mind, and so to kind of help improve the process, because I've noticed that a lot of these meditation techniques or a lot of these meditation narratives or whatever don't teach people that are so like on that spinning hamster wheel. Okay, now the first one, I'm gonna use my Zippo as a visual aid. Now the first one is, right, if you have a candle or you can get a flame or something, like right now if you're watching this video, right, just rest your gaze on this. Just gaze at it. You're not staring at it. You're just resting your gaze on it. And just spend a few seconds and maybe notice what's happening to your mind. The idea is if you just rest your eyes on it and you gaze on it, your mind will be still. And I've done this experiment with lots and lots of people in my counseling sessions, and had them look at something else because I can't have an open flame at work, right? It's against fire code. But they notice that when they rest their gaze on something, then their eyes are still. Or that when their eyes are still, their mind is still. Okay, remember that. When your eyes are still, your mind is still. Try it now. Just rest your gaze. It doesn't even have to be on anything in particular. You may notice that your mind is still. So if you put on some soothing music and rest your gaze on maybe just a flame, for example, for 5 minutes a day, and just rest your eyes on it. That's one way to kind of get an entry point for meditation and using that method, or using that way of kind of getting that entry point. There's lots of apps that give you instruction or there's guided meditations. There's lots of apps. I've talked about this before. My favorite is Insight Timer, but Headspace is great too. Never use Calm, but I'm sure it's good. But here's my other personal tip for meditation, and that is that I realize that the biggest mistake that people make when they're trying to learn to meditate, that honestly, I'm surprised that this is not out there more, that this tip isn't out there more. I've noticed that people are trying to shove their thoughts into a box. That doesn't work. Trying to force your thoughts down and stuff them, that doesn't work. I mean, have you ever tried to put a cat into something that it really doesn't want to go into? I mean, that's really what it's kind of like, man. When you're trying to put your thoughts and force your thoughts to be still or to be quiet. That's really what it's like. So instead, what you have to do is give your thoughts permission to do whatever they want. Just like quietly, I'm okay if my thoughts go absolutely nuts. Go ahead, do your worst. Good. Give your thoughts permission to do whatever they want. And you may find that suddenly your mind becomes more and more quiet. That's what I found. The moment I was like, you know what, thoughts, just do whatever you want. Go ahead. I don't care. I'm not trying to be quiet here, but go ahead and do whatever you want. And the most amazing thing happened, and that's when my mind really became quiet. The idea here is that if you're having thoughts and you engage with them and you resist them, that's when you're going to pick up energy, and they get bigger and bigger and stronger and stronger and stronger, okay? So the idea here is to let your thoughts do whatever they want and stop engaging with them and stop resisting with them. This skill actually is going to come in very much handy in other steps and other exercises down the road. So I want you to practice it. If you don't have a notebook and you really want to engage in this process, I would highly recommend getting a notebook. Make some notes, jot down some questions, do some journaling, write down your thoughts, write down your feelings. Just start noticing. Start noticing what your mind is doing. What does it say? And maybe even write in the comment section below. What is that frantic mind telling you right now? Write it down. Put it in your comments. Be bold. Be brave. Be vulnerable. What is your frantic mind telling you right now? Write it in the comments, please. I want to know. Okay? So that is the importance of meditation and a few tips to help you kind of get started. Okay, thank you for watching. I hope you will subscribe, and we will see you in the next one.